at the opulent surroundings of the Hilton Hotel, Wembley, the venue for the World Class Performance Conference, the UK sports flagship event in conjunction with their sponsors and partners Sports Cover. The conference is a significant part of the preparation for Rio 2016, and among 350 delegates will be leading coaches and sports directors from the Olympics and Paralympics, all preparing for Rio, Pyeongchang and Tokyo. We'll also have interviews with other world-renowned performers of a different kind. Award-winning cellist Chi Wanuku. We'll have one of the world's greatest ballet dancers, Carlos Acosta. And we'll also have interviews with former politician Alistair Campbell, as well as other familiar faces from the world of sports and arts. And talking of familiar faces, Mark, who do you have with you right now?
We are delighted to be joined now by one of the greatest ballet dancers of all time, Carlos Acosta. A very good afternoon to you. What have you gleaned so far from this event? What's come out of it so far that's been beneficial to you?
Well, I just got here at the moment. I'm coming to do my presentation, and hopefully, I'm sharing my journey with others, and hopefully that could trigger some ideas. And it is the first time actually that I'm speaking in front of a large crowd, and I'm looking forward to it. I think ultimately it's I would say two things. The mind, how tough your mind is, and the extra as well. That's what sets them apart.
Well, obviously we've got a lot of build-up towards Rio next year. It's only sort of 9 months to go. So part of the main thrust of the conference has been in focusing on realising ambition there. Exactly what do we mean? Are we all on the same page? Does everybody actually have the right goal? Does everybody know exactly what their roles are going into Rio? We're also trying to recognise that Rio is not going to be London in so many respects, and for over half of the athletes going to the Olympics and Paralympics, it will be their first away games. So most of them think that the Olympics is like London. Well, they're not going to have 90% support of the entire crowd. They are going to have a few more logistical challenges in getting to their venues and getting to competition. There's a lot more to factor in, and 3 years ago was a once-in-a-lifetime games. It could be just as good in Rio for them, but it's going to be different.
The World Class Performance Conference has attracted over 350 delegates, including elite performance directors and coaches. And there's an understandable sensitivity surrounding this event as confidential information is shared, with the margins in sport being so small. And the difference can mean gold, silver, bronze, or no medals at all. Earlier, Rachel Downey caught up with two of the key figures in the UK sport operation, Liz Nichol and Simon Timpson. And Liz began by explaining the significance of commercial partnerships.
So I'm joined now by Liz Nichols. Liz, welcome. First of all, how important are commercial partnerships to the sport?
Oh, they're incredibly important. We've got the benefit here in the UK of having a significant amount of lottery funding to support our elite athletes, and we also have support from the government as well. But it's important not to rely 100% on the public purse. So each of the sports has an ambition to actually drive more income from other sources, and particularly commercial income, which will really help it add value to the great work that they do, be able to present themselves and their events professionally, and it will raise the profile of Olympic and Paralympic sport.
It's absolutely essential that UK sport has a broad range of commercial partners. Of course, we're funded largely by the National Lottery, but we need to reduce our reliance on government and exchequer funding in particular as a reflection of the times and the challenges that the country faces in living within our means. So the more we can do to work closely with commercial partners like Sports Cover, not only to reduce our reliance on government funds, but also to learn from their expertise and from the things that they can bring to our environment, gives us a different perspective. It challenges us to think differently. It challenges us to break new ground. And it's been a really vibrant partnership, and long may it continue.
One of the most common questions that I've been asked about my transition from sprinting into classical music, where they say, how could you possibly become a musician after being a sprinter? Well, the answer is easy, because the disciplines are so similar. There are so many things in common, from the most obvious things like timing, breathing, exacting motor skills, being trained, hours of training, of repetitive training for, like interval training, doing your scales and arpeggios, all of those things, the one-to-one tuition and the commitment and the complete and utter devotion to what you are doing, to the moment where you walk onto that stage, be it the stadium or the concert platform. The moment the gun goes off or the conductor starts or you strike up with the first chord, it's the same rush of adrenaline and the desire to communicate and perform to the audience.
Yeah, everyone comes with something. Everyone comes with a thought, an idea. There are people sitting, in their offices or in their facilities, dreaming, aspiring, looking forward to, and this is an opportunity for them to bring those thoughts and ideas and share them with other people and kind of turn them into action. I think it's all about performance, and whether you're in business, whether you're in the arts, whether you're in dance, whether you're in sport, it's about performing at the highest level. And everyone has various phrases, and we talk about people being the best that they can be, or bringing their best performance on a certain time at a certain day, which is often what it's about in high-performance sport. Therefore, there are similarities and learning opportunities across all of those things that we have to come together and, again, with a view to being the best that we can be.
I think that, I'm certainly going to talk about how strategy works in politics and how that might be different in sport, and talk about innovation and use of data and all the things that I think do cross all the different disciplines. But to be honest, I think the best of sport is about as good as it gets when it comes to winning. And people think that's obvious because sport's all about winning, but to my mind, anything you do is all about winning. You're trying to achieve things, you're trying to make change or whatever it might be. So I think sport can teach politics as much as it can learn, to be honest.
So this has been the World Class Performance Conference. We hope you've enjoyed the show. However, this is the edited version. If you want to watch the extended version, make sure you come back in a week's time with all the interviews. I've been Rachel Downey, signing off from the Hilton Hotel, Wembley.